I hope everyone's ears is off to a great start. This is the second video of the year. At this point, you probably watched my top favorite releases, designers, best releases, niche, and today we're gonna talk about the most worn fragrances. From a guy that owns thousands of fragrances. I know it's sick to admit, but I've been at it since I was 15 years old, so I've been collecting this stuff for over 25 years. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you the most worn fragrances I wore in 2023. However, we're gonna break this down by season. So you guys are in for a treat. Stick around, get comfortable. The video's about to get ready. Let's go. So I'm gonna kick off the list here by giving you my honorable mention for that cluster of period of time, for January, February, March, which is technically the coldest part of the year, winter time. This is a fragrance from Dior, designer brand. This is Dior Elixir or Sauvage Elixir. I love this fragrance. This is a fantastic green, very aromatic. We've got lavender, resins, little spices going on, tons of woods in the base. It's going to be a woody spicy by nature, but it does have the lavender, so it gives you almost like a fougere kind of an aspect of the fragrance. Nevertheless, great scent. One that almost made my top, worn fragrances within that period of time, winter time. But I do wear this a lot, fall and winter. But for January's sake, we're going to talk about a fragrance here that I love, which is basically tobacco, leather, boozy, woody, spicy. From the house of Unique Luxury, January goes to 𝗏𝗏. January, one of the coldest months. I want something cozy, warm. And this is one that I wore a lot in the month of January, and I still wear a lot, fall, winter. It's one of my go-tos. I love this stuff. If you like boozy, spicy fragrances, 𝗏𝗏 is definitely one that will not let you down. So January, 𝗏𝗏 was the most worn fragrance. Fast forward to February, now we're talking about romantic occasions, Valentine's Day. Of course, it's still cold out, but you want something still remaining woody, spicy, and perhaps boozy. So my favorite choice here, designer brand, Pacha de Cartier Eau de Parfum. Guys, I love this stuff. This is boozy, very aromatic again, still playing homage to the old school fragrances, fougere-like scents with lavender, but the whiskey here up top, when you first spray this, it just is incredible. Long lasting, very pleasant, is going to get you smelling amazing. There's no two ways about it. From the designer side of things, along with, of course, Dior Sauvage Elixir, and another one that we'll be talking about very soon, to me are the best designer fragrances available in the market today. So guys, don't snooze on, Pacha de Cartier Eau de Parfum or Parfum edition. You're going to love it. Now we're heading to March. Now March is where we still have cold days, but we start to have warmer days as late March, spring will sprung. So this fragrance here that I'm about to share with you is not only one of my favorite current niche brands, but this particular fragrance from a note that you guys know me very well here on the channel. If you don't know, you know it now, is one of my favorite notes in perfumery, which is a note of vetiver. This one captures the vetiver essence to the T. This is going to be Premier Perfumes 𝗏𝗏. This is Royal Vetiver. I talked about this fragrance immensely. It made a lot of top lists for me. From 22 into 23, this stuff here is one scent that I wear a lot, but particularly in the month of March, this was my go-to. I love this stuff. This is green, it's earthy, it's smoky, it captures all the different nuances and essence of vetiver. To the T, you do have a pineapple note here that's very fruity and also smoky. Doesn't smell like anything like Aventus, because I know we talk about pineapple smoke, you guys think about Aventus, light bulb goes off. Nothing like Aventus, guys. This is a very beastly fragrance. If you love vetiver, it's gonna capture all essences, all aspects, all nuances of vetiver perfectly. There's a boozy nuance here, a fruity pineapple. It is absolutely heavenly, guys. One of my favorite vetivers of all time. Now we're coming on to spring. Now spring is where everything starts to bloom, everything starts to blossom, nature starts to come alive again. I love spring, and we're talking about the months of March, or really late March, so we're realistically talking about April, May, and June. And the fragrance I'm gonna highlight here is my honorable mention from a brand that is radicated in Oman, Middle East. You do have to check out this brand, and especially this fragrance. I'm talking about Oman Luxury, the fragrance is Wanderlust. Now, Wanderlust is going to be a green, figgy kind of a fragrance with a very blasty, minty, opening, which is gonna just have you at hello if you love minty and, very, bright, ethereal, effervescent, uplifting kind of fragrances. You're gonna love the opening here. So like I said, green, minty, and this creamy fig. I think there's sandalwood in here as well. Fig, mint, sandalwood, woods. I think there's vetiver also. Love this stuff, long lasting. Wanderlust, one of my favorite. And one of my favorites for the spring of last year, made I think the top 5 in my top rotations of spring of last year. But I think it's definitely gonna be featured in my spring niche this year for sure. I love this stuff. but it didn't quite make my top 3 worn fragrances for each month, but also a very good contender and honorable mention here, as it were. And this is a fragrance that I wore a lot in the month of April. I fell in love with this fragrance. I know a lot of people talk about, when I talk about emballage nowadays, you're talking about Royal Tobacco, which is absolutely a masterpiece. Reflection Man gets a lot of talks, Jubilation, Jubilation 40. All those fragrances are getting quite a bit of limelight here on YouTube, on Instagram, and on social media for that matter. But this one here is my favorite, and my favorite from the line last year, from emballage altogether. And a lot of people don't talk about this one because this is a very particular taste on vetiver. Again, the vetiver, guys. And this is going to be emballage purpose. I love this fragrance. It's green, it's vetiver, it's smoky, it's earthy. A stellar composition. Again, if you love vetiver, it's going to be very predominant here with citrus notes up top, woods, frankincense. It's a little bit smoky, a little bit green, a little bit earthy. A great vetiver base scent. It is a little bit sour to some people, especially in the opening, but I'm telling you, if you wait a few minutes as the fragrance develops, as it warms with your body chemistry, this is an incredible fragrance, guys. My most worn fragrance in April, and it's definitely gonna make a ton of top lists for me in 2024. Purpose from emballage. Don't snooze on this one. Get a decant, get a sample, try it. I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. The month of May, now we're talking about late spring. It's starting to warm up, but we still get a couple cool nights. This is a fragrance to me that if I'm doing a top signature scent or a top professional scent, top versatile scent, this will make the list perfectly. The brand, another one very underrated, like 𝗏, like Cartier. It's one of those brands that don't get much talks, much play. This is going to be from Bottega Veneta. This is Illuzione. This, my fellow friends, my fellow frag heads, it is an incredible citrus aromatic fragrance with amazing performance. We're talking citrus notes up top, we're talking lavender, some green nuances, pine cone note. There's a green, coniferous, pine coney kind of a vibe here. I love this stuff, guys. This is, like I said, it smells amazing. Another one that's no two ways about it, no doubt about it, will make a lot of lists for me, probably top spring or top summer, top versatile, top professional. It checks a lot of boxes in my collection, my rotation. I love Illuzione from Bottega Veneta. This is class personified in the bottle. This is quintessential, masculinity slash elegance. Love Illuzione, guys. The most worn fragrance for me in May of 2023. Now we're getting into June. The month of June is going to be a rather warm month. You do have a lot of hot days, some cool nights. Sometimes you get those cooler nights, but overall we're getting closer to the summertime, so it gets warmer and warmer, especially late June. But the fragrance I wore the most is a fragrance that I really enjoyed last year. Made a lot of top lists for me as well. Of course, if they make my most worn, there's no question about it that they make my top rotation seasonal lists. This is going to be from 𝗏𝗏. This is H24 Eau de Parfum. There is a new one that was just announced called Herb Vibes or something like that. It's like an herbal take on H24. I'll pop it on the screen here, which has a note of pear, mint. I'm very curious to smelling that one, the new one. As soon as I get a hold of it, of course, I'm going to talk about it here on the channel. But Eau de Parfum H24 to me was a step up from the EDT. I didn't like it too much. It wasn't my cup of tea, or it wasn't my taste. But H24 Eau de Parfum just took things a few levels up for me, making the scent greener, longer lasting, better performance. There's vetiver here in the base, there's herbal nuances, there's this balsamic quality to it. You have oak moss and vetiver in the base, which to me is a match made in heaven. This is very green. There's also Brazilian rosewood, which gave this fragrance a very nice woody backbone that you didn't get with the original. So better performance, better smelling altogether. I wore this a lot in the month of June, whether I was, having situations where it's more casual, or dresser situations, dress up or dress down. H24 Eau de Parfum was definitely a go-to for me in the month of June. Now we're gonna highlight the months of summer, the warmer days, the hottest season. We're talking about July, August, and September, which is really the thick of it, summertime. So one that almost made my list, and to me it's still the favorite. I did a first impression for you on the second version of this fragrance, which now is going to be released, from what I understand, every year. This is Join the Club, 𝗏𝗏. This is Torino 21. I did the first impression of Torino 22, which I really enjoyed, but this one's still my favorite. And of course, Torino 23, I haven't been able to get a bottle of, but as soon as I do, of course, I'm gonna share it here with you guys. But Torino 21 is my favorite. This is green, it's herbal, it's minty, it's refreshing. It is incredible. Most fragrances are going to be gender-free, unisex. This one in particular, very unisex. It's gonna have this floral, minty aspect from beginning to end. So floral, minty, and green. Very uplifting, very bright, very effervescent, almost like a mojito. I get like a sweet mojito vibe with Torino 21. An amazing fragrance, guys. Almost made my most worn for any particular month of the summer season, but not quite. I wore this sparingly for some reason. I do enjoy this one, but I think my wife ended up wearing this more than I did, so that's why it wasn't in my top of any particular month. But let's talk about the month of July. The month of July, I'm going to highlight a fragrance here that got a ton of limelight on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Everybody was talking about this, the best fragrance of the year. Definitely, most definitely the best one that they wore in the warmer season. I'm talking about Sospiro Vibrato, guys. This is an incredible citrus aromatic with a backbone. Long lasting, incredible in smelling. It's going to be a great compliment, getter. If you one person out there that really enjoys getting complimented for wearing great fragrances, Sospiro Vibrato will not disappoint. I think what makes Vibrato so great is obviously the performance, but the combination of notes. You have these very citrus notes up top, tangerines, grapefruits, oranges, bergamot. It's like a blast of, citrus notes up top with amber, ginger, patchouli. An incredible fragrance, guys. If you're looking for one fragrance to rock, the warmest season of the year, which is summer, Vibrato is going to be one to definitely check out. Definitely, androgynous, gender-free, unisex, whatever you want to call it, was my top most worn fragrance in July for a reason, guys. This stuff is phenomenal. Now, generally speaking, the month of August happens to be the warmest, time of the year. Late July, early August until like mid to late August, it gets really, really hot. We're talking temperatures in the high 80s, high 90s. This fragrance here to me is perfection to keeping you cool, to keeping you smelling great. And of course, I'm talking about Bentley's Silver Lake. This is like a combination or a very similar take on a very good fragrance that was discontinued a long time ago, which is Armani Acqua di Gio Essenza. This to me is a very, very close, I'd say 90-95% closer to Essenza. A great scent. It's going to have this aquatic, ozonic feel, vetiver in the base, green notes, citrus notes, long lasting, smells phenomenal. Something to keep you really refreshed in really hot days. This is going to be great. I'm telling you, dress up or dress down, you're going to smell phenomenal. It's going to have this salty kind of a vibe to it, like a sea breeze kind of a vibe also. Woody, sea breeze, aquatic, fresh fruits up top. And from everything I'm talking about here on this list, this is going to be the most affordable, I'd say the best value proposition for what you're getting, how it smells, how it performs. It checks all the boxes, guys. Silver Lake from Bentley, the most worn fragrance for me in August of 2023. Now, September is a really good month because it still have hot days, really hot days, but cooler nights. So there's a fragrance that I think is perfection for dressier situations when you really want to smell very elegant, very sophisticated, very well put together, very made to measure. And this fragrance, of course, from the house of Tom Ford. Tom Ford does it well. This is going to be none other than Costa Azzurra Parfum. Not the original, but the Parfum, more intensified version of that fragrance. Ladies and gentlemen, on smell alone, okay? If somebody came to me and said, Max, you can only have one fragrance for the warm season, let's say from late March until September, I would probably go with this one. Costa Azzurra from Tom Ford, Parfum Edition. It is incredible in smell alone. I wish I had created this fragrance. Guys, this is a heck of a scent. Amazing in performance, great for compliments. Something that, like I said, when I'm dressed apart, if I'm dressed up, if I'm, looking to convey a message of well put togetherness, of, made to measure kind of a feel, very elegant, very sophisticated, very inviting, commanding attention. Costa Azzurra from Tom Ford, Parfum Edition is my go-to. This used to be a private blend fragrance that was ported into the signature Tom Ford line, which by the way, this year, I heard it through the grapevine, you heard it here first, Tom Ford is re-releasing Tobacco Oud into the signature line in bottles like this. At some point this year, we're gonna see that. So I can't wait to compare it with my private blend. So maybe I'll do a full review for you guys, but that's to be determined when it's gonna hit shelves. But Costa Azzurra, going back to Costa Azzurra, is a great citrus fragrance. You got some deeper elements here, like a little hint of oud or cypress here, which makes it very green, like a hinoki wood kind of a thing. This is amazing, guys. Oak wood in the base, vetiver, lots of bright and citrus inviting elements to this fragrance. It's a phenomenal citrus aromatic fragrance. I think there's a touch of lavender also in the heart. It is incredible, very well blended. You guys know it, Tom Ford, it's quality, and this one here, no different. What I'm about to show you next is going to be not only the honorable mention for fall And fall is a very funny period of time here, which is basically October, November, December. So late December, December 22nd or 21st, we get into the winter season. But the fall season is really cool here where I'm at because you get the fall foliage, you get the changes of colors, you still get some warmer days, really cooler nights. It starts to change. The weather really gets colder at nighttime. You start to pull out your stronger fragrances, the woody, spicier fragrances, the boozier, the leathers, the tobaccos, so on and so forth. But this one here is one that not only is one that I wear a lot, especially in the month of September into October. Didn't quite make my top worn fragrances for those months, but it is a great honorable mention. One that I actually wear a lot throughout the year. This is one of my go-tos for the gym, casual errands, but you can dress this up, you can dress it down, and I get a lot of compliments. Probably the most complimented fragrance here on this list, and it's going to be Roja Parfums Elysium. Elysian Cologne Parfum. It is a fantastic fragrance. It has this ambroxan kind of wood chip feel to the fragrance, but the citrus is up top with the amber, the woods, the vetiver, all the combination of notes. Very fruity, little floral nuance, woody base, spices. It is blended to perfection. I'm telling you, this is something that every time I wear this and I walk into a room or whatever I'm going, supermarket, bank, whatever, somebody, inevitably, at least one person will ask me, wow, you smell so good. What are you wearing? Especially if those people know me. If there's people that really know me, like my barber or somebody that sees me often, family members or friends, they will ask me, what are you wearing, man? You smell so good. I need to get myself a bottle of that, whatever that is. That's Roja Elysium, guys. Love this stuff. This is one that I wear throughout the year. I'm game with this. This is incredible, guys. Honorable mention here for this last cluster, but it could have made any honorable mention for any part of the year. No two ways about it. Love Elysium. October. The month of October is fall, and for the fall, I'm looking for something spicy, for something woody. And to me, this fragrance is the most underrated fragrance from the House of Creed. I'll say it again, the most underrated fragrance from the House of Creed. We all know Creed. Everybody talks about Creed Aventus, GIT, Green Irish Tweed. There's a lot of fragrances that get a ton of limelights. This is criminally underrated. This is Viking, not Viking Cologne, the original Viking. I love this so much, I got myself a big flacon, 250 ml flacon. That's how much I love Creed Viking. 8.4 ounces. What I do is, of course, I make myself a decant. I carry it with me if I need to reapply. The performance is quite good on Viking. I love the way it smells. It has this very old school vibe, but it has some modern components, so it doesn't smell aged, at least to my nose. I love it. Quite the contrary, it smells very well put together. You have the pink pepper, you have the rose, you have vetiver, oak moss, lavender. It's a great fragrance. It is a fougere. It is, a barbershop, woody, spicy kind of a fragrance. I love the fragrance, and of course, like I said, check it out if you haven't tried that fragrance, but you're curious about, Creed Viking or any fragrance here, for that matter, on this list. You can get yourself a decant, live with it. Make sure you love the fragrance before committing to a full bottle. Of course, 𝗏𝗡𝗏.com has gotten you covered over the years. I talked about them going on 4 years here on the channel. I love 𝗏𝗡𝗏.com. Any codes, any special savings that I can share with you guys and keeping you guys in the know and saving you guys some money, of course, I'm gonna have it listed in the description of the video. But like I said, 𝗏𝗡𝗏.com, a quick plug here, shameless plug, is the place to go if you wanna try anything. And of course, October was the month of Viking for me. But again, Viking is another one that I love it. If I'm looking for those, dressier situations that I really want to convey a very well put together vibe, Viking is one of my go-tos. And I'll talk about that. Of course, you're going to get a most professional, most well put together fragrances. I'm going to do a lot of top videos for you guys covering those very nuances of the fragrance world, as it were. But Viking, the most worn in the month of October. Month of November, it's still really cold, getting really cold now. Thanksgiving, festivities. I want something that not only is going to make me smell amazing, but it's going to be very inviting, very cozy, very warm. And my fragrance for that particular month last year was this one right here, Kieran's NYC Scent X1. Now this fragrance, my friends, if you haven't heard of this one, you are missing out. Huge, big time. Great sprayers, you can control depending how hard you push the atomizer. And this is an incredible fragrance. This is cognac, Divana, tobacco, vetiver, spices, a ton of spices like cinnamon, for example. It is up there, goes toe to toe with Naxos, for example, from 𝗏𝗏. If you like those fragrances, this is not a cologne. It doesn't smell exactly like those fragrances. Quite the contrary. It goes into this really, aromatic kind of a feeling. The cognac here is amazing. As soon as you spray this on, you're gonna get this boozy, cognac. The Divana calm things down, making it balsamic, creamy, sandalwood, vetiver, spices, cinnamon. It is amazing, guys. I'm telling you, I love Scent X1. I still wear this a lot. Long lasting. This is something that I'm telling you right now, you spray yourself. If you spray your clothes, forget about it. It'll be there for days. But on skin, you'll take a shower, you'll smell your skin, it'll still be there. It is a beast in performance and a compliment monster, guys. If you're watching this video, if you checked this fragrance out, Scent X1, let me know what feedback you get from it. And like I said, guys, don't take my word for it, you know? Take it with a grain of salt. Get yourself a decant, try it. I know you're not gonna disappoint. If you have your taste similar to mine, this is incredible. Now, December, of course, the holidays, and you know, there's a fragrance that always makes my top fall/winter seasons. For the month of December, this, like I said to you guys before, when it comes to designers, you know, I talked about Dior Elixir, I talked about Cartier Pas de Parfum as the two best available designer fragrances out there. And this one here will make that trifecta. If you're looking for a great designer fragrance to rock, this is gonna check all the boxes on performance, the way it smells. Givenchy's Gentleman Reserve Privé. Big name, big fragrance, guys. I am telling you, this is amazing. And nowadays, because Dior Homme, Dior Parfum, you know, not so much Dior Parfum, but Dior Homme, Dior Homme Intense have been reformulated heavily over the years. This to me is a perfect option, alternative to those fragrances. This is going to be boozy though. You know, Dior Homme, Dior Homme Intense do not have the boozy accord. This one has a whiskey accord. It does have the iris, the patchouli, the cocoa chocolatey patchouli. It is absolutely heavenly, guys. One of the most worn fragrances in my collection, and definitely the top worn fragrance in the month of December of last year. And just to give you an idea how good this is, if Stronger With You from Armani had an offspring with Dior Homme Intense, this would be their baby, and adding that whiskey note, making it boozy as well. You do have the chestnut note, so you have that nutty effect, the iris, the patchouli. This stuff is incredible. And last but not least, I want to give you guys a quick bonus before I let you go. This fragrance here, this is my go-to now. It's one of my signature scents that I've been wearing, you know, well into this year now, and I love this fragrance so much. And this is from Navitus Parfum and Scent Explorer, limited edition. There was only 500 bottles put out, and this is, of course, Xenial. You guys heard me talk about this. This is a pure, simple combination of my favorite notes of all time: lavender, single malt whiskey, smooth suede leather, and sweet Maduro tobacco. Enough said, guys. Go check this out. If you haven't checked this out, get a decant. I'm telling you, if you have a taste similar to mine, this is a perfect match between modernity, you know, modern meets classic, classy, elegant, maids to measure. You know, I created this with that in mind, with something that was very inviting, something that was very elegant, very captivating, and this checks all the boxes. Performance is incredible. This is an amazing scent. Xenial from Navitus and Scent Explorer. Like I said this before, once it's gone, it's gone. I believe there's a few bottles still in stock. Comes with a leather sleeve, comes with a beautiful case. I showcased that here on the channel a few times. And when I stop talking about this fragrance, it's because it's gone. So if you don't want to lose, these are numbered plaques. The actual bottles have numbered plaques in the opening. You know, as you open the box, there's gonna be a beautiful metal plate there, numbered. So once they're gone, they're gone. I'm not gonna talk about them in the future once they're gone because you won't be able to get them. But I'm telling you guys, this was one of my go-tos, and I worn this a lot, and I'm still wearing this a lot in 2024, and will continue to wear a lot because I love it. Once I get probably to the half point of the bottle, I'll probably stop wearing it just because it's a limited edition. But guys, thanks a lot for your support. If you do enjoy the channel, if you do enjoy me keeping you here in the know when it comes to indie, designers, niche, fragrance-related content, I'm your guy. Please don't forget to show your support. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, hit the notifications bell if you want to be informed when these videos populate. I put out at least one video per week, every year. So that's what I'm here for, guys, keeping you in the know, giving you guys some new things, new discoveries, of course, with my first impression videos, top videos, seasonal. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. Stay tuned for a lot more, and I'll see you right back here in another video. Take care.